I'm going to do a video for you to show you how to change the head unit and surround on a Nissan NV200. This model is a 2015 to this type of unit. This is actually fitted in a 2014 and it is a unit that is available from June. So I've got two of these vans, and while I've got the new one to fit, I'll do a video of how to do it. The only problem with this unit is that these vent adjusters are not cut out, so you have to cut those out yourself, which is a bit of a fag, and but with a Dremel and a little bit of scratching around you can get them fitting. Right then, all you're going to need to do this installation, well, to strip the other head out in any case, let's move this around a bit, here's a screwdriver. So first thing you've got to do is remove this panel. Some people put little things under it and lever it out, but just get hold of it and pull it up. I'll put that in lower gear, that would help. There's two screws to take out, one there and one there. There's also a little knob that goes on the vent control, which you lift up and pull out. Don't drop it, because that's what I did, and my knob is down there somewhere. Anyhow, after that, just put the screwdriver under the side, a little click that way, click that way, and then you can put your fingers under and work the whole thing off. So that's that unit off. Then you've got 4 screws that hold the radio in. Then the head unit lifts straight out, and you've got push button there, push button on the side for that one, little push button on the top for that one, and one on the side for that one, and that's the head unit out. Okay. These little clips you'll need to take off and put onto the new unit. There's an easy way of doing that with a pair of pliers. Easier with a bent nose ones. Slip that in, push the pliers apart a little bit and just lift it off. That's it. Okay, so I'm going to run through the cables that came with the unit. The main wiring loom, which includes the aerial. This goes into the aerial socket on the unit and the aerial socket on your car, the van, and this is the main input off the van, and then into the biggest connection on the back of the radio, and the aerial socket. That one. You've got 2 USB ports. They both go into the middle 2 here. One's with 4 connections, and one is with 6 connections, even though there's only 4 pins. But that is those 2 in the middle. This is for you know, connecting up big stereo, but I haven't got that in my van, so if you haven't got anything like that, you won't need that, and that would have gone into that one there. The GPS unit, wherever you're going to mount it, on the windscreen or somewhere like that, then eventually you feed it through, and that's going to go onto that unit there. About the most complicated bit is the rear view camera. The bit fitting to the back of the unit is this little bit, and that goes into that one. Or is it that one? That one, sorry. You can't really get them wrong because that's got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 terminals, so you've only got to count on the back. There is actually information about all the connections, but you can only see it when you've got the unit installed, which is a bit odd. There you go. And it's on a little video inside. So that's the cable that's going to be coming then from here to the back of the van. You've got a red cable on this. Took me a little while to work this one out, but on this main loom here, you've got one that says back, and it's a brown cable. You'd think they might have done a red one just to help you, but that has got to be put together, go into the back of the van. That's going to give you your power to the camera when you put it in reverse. So those are going to be connected together. Then you run that all the way through the back of the van. Then at the back of the van, the red one on here goes to the red on this little electrical connection, and the black goes to an earth. After that, that plugs into here, and the other end of this long wire into there, and then obviously you mount your camera. One thing I did notice, I think that there isn't anything as I could find in the software for the camera to turn it up the other way, and I wanted to mount it on top of my door that way, and so the picture was upside down because it's made to be that way. I couldn't find out. You know, you could do other things with it, I think change it left and right, but you couldn't turn it up the other way. So I had to make a little adaptation to the mounting to be able to put this little bracket underneath to keep it the right way up. The other piece here that I've got is actually the piece of the front of my old panel, which I cut off and cleaned all the back up so that I could use it as a template to mark where these little holes have got to go. They're a real job to cut out and try and make them look good, and that's as good as I managed to get it, but at least it's working, and that's good enough for me. But that might help. The first one I did a paper pattern. Actually, I don't think it was much better, but there you go. Okay, so next bit we'll do is in the van. Those little clips I showed you taking off, you've got 4 along there and 2 here. That's why I said about a cranked handle pliers to take these off, because it's a bit difficult to get into, but with the pliers these come off easy, and then you just push them back on. 2 at the bottom, 4 at the top. On the MV200, the USB port is down near the cigarette lighter. Unfortunately, this is a single one, and the wiring loom doesn't include that. So they've given you these 2 flying lead USBs. I've decided to take that out and bring the 2 leads down here, just hanging out at the bottom, and I may do something different with that later. In order to do this, you've got to do a little bit of fishing. So I've threaded a bit of wire through up to the top where the radio is, and I've just got to pull this wire back up through, leaving the cable, 2 cables hanging down underneath. There we go. drilled the dash with a hole big enough to get this plug through, and then put the GPS unit up on here, covering the hole more or less with the wire going down the back through, and that's right in the way of the windscreen. So on the last car it worked pretty well. Okay, we're going to start mounting this head unit in. Firstly, we're going to put the GPS connection on. Now the main loom, which will help to hold it up. Everything's fell back inside. There. Next is the radio aerial, grey one, over here. There you go. Got the rear view camera, and then this wire will be made onto this in a little while. Oh. And then the two USB plugs, which is a bit more tighter because they're not very long. So we've got 6 in the first port. One and a 4 in the next port. Be careful not to put them through my little hole in the bottom, because it's only just long enough. That's it. Can't see the bloody thing. There we go. Right then, get all the wires up out of the way, the connection, and then we can start putting the unit back in. It's got it. Okay, there we go. Right, so I've got 2 screws back in the bottom here, a little knob back on there, and then clip this back in. Boom. Next job, reconnect the battery and fire her up. So when you put the power on, you should get this screen. You go to settings. This I was saying about earlier on, that it shows you the ports and everything, but only after you've connected it up. It's a bit daft. Go back. What's that one? Actually is, I don't know. No. Anyway, so one of the main things you've got to do is to set up the steering learn. It's all in the book, but it's dead simple. So if you want to do the fast forward of the track, that one, and push the button on the steering wheel, track back, volume increase, that one, volume reduce, that one. What else have we got on there? Source, we'll do as mode, that one. That's all I've got on there. Information, but that doesn't come into it. So there you go. So that's it. If you make a mistake, you just go back to that one and it clears them all and you start again. But otherwise, fairly straightforward. I haven't got anything plugged in at the moment. Oh, what I could do is plug in a stick. the thing. Go for some music. It's got one track on here that is, I don't know why that's, oh, of course we've, let's go back. Home, I'll have to reset them again. Steering wheel, learn, volume, up, volume, down, back, next track, up, mode, that one, okay. I'll go back, music. Okay. What else? These lights should light up when you put the put the lights on. Yeah, so these little things light up on this side, and it reduces the screen brightness a little bit when you've got your lights on. Turn the fan off. Okay. GPS and stuff like that, you've got to, oh, it's radio. Nothing on at the moment.
Euro Cycles Euro Baby. Stock clearance sale at eurobaby.com and Eurobaby Longboat.
If a family member is already with FBD.
Vi obrad leva ek machen mi anyer agus tashi keshnu hotel.
And soon we'll be dancing in the sun. We'll be dancing in the sun. We'll sing your song together.
If you want to stop the radio, touch the off button. Videos, I haven't got anything. Then I actually loaded Waze and Google Maps onto my other van, and they work very well. This iGo I didn't get on with very well at all. They want you to pay for the announcements and stuff like that, so Google Maps is okay. Oh, there's Google Maps there, but I've got to connect it up to my internet on my phone to get it working. Okay, that's about it for now.